So, welcome to One Woman's Journey, and today we've got Lucy Sheffield joining us. Thanks, Lucy, for coming along today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to hearing from you a bit about how things were for you growing up and dealing with life and all that sort of stuff, and how finding the sort of principles and understanding has sort of helped you. So, over to you, really, Lucy.
Cool. Do you want me to talk to you about how growing up was from a young age, which I think is kind of where, if you like, the shit hit the fan and it was not very nice for me.
Yeah, okay, if you're happy with that,
Yeah.
that's good.
I was just saying before we came on here to Rachel that I was talking yesterday to somebody about where I think it all stemmed from, really, and I didn't kind of realise this until yesterday when I looked it in the face and embraced it and kind of faced it, really. And when we were younger, we had all sorts going on. We were brought up in a religion, myself and my two sisters. My mum and dad split up. We all kind of wanted to live with my mum, but my dad got custody of us, and it was just an ongoing, the energy was just horrible all the time, people fighting, and it was really, really horrible. But I think what happened for me was I never really liked myself, let alone loved myself. It started from when I was, this is how it looks to me. When I was about 11 and I started senior school, I got bullied. And I got bullied by a group of girls that kind of, it's really stupid to say this, but it was bloody horrible at the time. I got bullied from them because they said I'd written something in the toilet and I hadn't. Like, it sounds really silly, but oh my God, it was horrible, Rach. It was really, really awful what I went through. And they picked on me, and, I could go into all sorts of what went on, but I don't want to, it was not nice.
No.
I know. And then I got bullied again a second time. And then I got bullied a third time, all at school in 5 years. And, we had to get my parents involved and try and get the teachers involved and all this. But what I think that did for me was I didn't like myself anyway. I felt like I was fat, I was spotty, I was smaller than all the other kids at school. And all of that stuff was already eating away at my self-confidence. So getting bullied and getting picked on just what's the word, made that like feel, I am stupid then. I am this horrible fat person that doesn't fit in anywhere, that doesn't deserve to be in life, And that's how I felt. And then that impacted on me for years. I couldn't wait to get out of school. I started getting in with the wrong crowd and drinking so that I could hide it all. And I smoked at school so I could fit in and be the cool one. Then I thought the bullies would leave me alone then. But it was really horrid. And I didn't realise how horrible that was until I started looking at it the other day and thinking, do you know what? I really did go through some shit, and having my parents split up and not knowing that. And then there was the whole trying to tell someone that I was in love with women, I loved women. I just wasn't allowed to see all these things. I wasn't allowed to love a woman or drink or smoke, or I just didn't fit in anywhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And what conclusions did that leave you with, do you think, in terms of your beliefs about yourself at that time?
Basically, I went on to believe that I wasn't lovable, that didn't deserve to be in the world. That was definitely when I was about 18, 19. I tried to kill myself.
Right.
I didn't try very hard, but I did. I drank heavily, and I would sit on pavements or sit on the road hoping the cars would come and take me out of the game, So that's the impact it had on me. I really genuinely believed I wasn't good enough. I felt like I was fat, I was ugly, I wasn't pretty, I didn't deserve love. I just had absolute no confidence in myself at all. I did not like myself. Well, I hated myself. I genuinely hated myself.
God, that I can really feel that. That's like, wow, that
I'm doing it now.
it has a massive impact, doesn't it?
Yeah,
What we end up feeling and believing from our thoughts, really. I mean, that's massive, and it can
yeah,
last years, as you say. It can go on, a long time.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving into your sort of early adulthood, then, did you sort of take that? Were you still carrying that?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest impact it had on me was leading me to the drink, if you like, because
Mm,
when I drank, I felt confident. I
yeah.
felt like I could relax. I felt that the fun Lulu came out and I could be a party animal, and people liked me because,
Mm,
well, I was funny.
mm,
That funniness inside of me came out, and I
mm,
kind of didn't care because I relaxed so much, because I drank so much and just, drank to an extreme, got absolutely off my
yeah.
face.
Mm,
But that I relaxed so much, I didn't care what I was doing. So then I was doing more harm to myself, because then I started doing stupid things, as you do.
mm,
And yeah, I just, I didn't know how to find myself. I didn't know who
mm.
I was. I didn't know what to do with my life. And I was just on this huge path of mass destruction, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It does sort of, I can relate to that. It takes you into sort of self-destruct, doesn't it? And all the time you're looking for something that's going to take you out of it, or numb it, or
Yeah.
somebody's going to come and save you from it all, or and just trying to get through each day, each month, each year, really.
Hmm.
And feeling perhaps you're just like lurching from one crisis to the next. Maybe I know that, I know I did. Yeah.
Definitely. At
Yeah.
one point, I couldn't handle it in England. I'd fell in love with my best friend. She had got a partner. She didn't like me in that way. And it was just hell. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Mm.
I didn't know what I wanted in life. And I ran away to Spain. I went and lived in Spain.
Ah.
But all I did out there, I did kind of come out myself a little better. I was in my early 20s, and I
Mhm.
did come out, if you like, out there. I kind of thought, no one knows me. I'm gonna live a life with the lesbian label and just
Mm.
free. So that
Mm.
was better. But I just carried on doing what I was doing out there. But this time, I just went and slept with loads of women when I drank.
Yeah.
I just carried on, but I was just like, oh, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And was that the answer?
Felt a little bit better for a while, but
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
still hiding.
Yeah.
So,
So were you always sort of searching for the answer, or looking for something that could, begin to make sense of any of it for you?
yeah, I don't think I realised that at the time. I didn't have a clue.
Mm,
I didn't have any awareness of what I was doing or what life was about, really. I just wanted to be, I just wanted to have fun. That's
mm,
always what I've
mm,
ever wanted to do, is have fun. And I thought that's what I was doing,
mm,
drinking and partying and fitting in with everyone, and not being the boring one, being the
mhm.
loud one, the life and soul, the one that's got all the tattoos and that's cool and that's this super person that everyone wants to be like.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to be
Yeah.
and do.
Yeah.
So I did it with the drink.
Yeah, and that provided you, I guess, with a sort of false sense of self, a false persona, really, didn't it? It's like, well, if I behave in this way, then there's a belief that I will be acceptable and people will like me, and it'll
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
yeah.
Um, so what brought you to this understanding then, when things started to shift in your awareness, really?
Okay, so what kind of happened was I moved back from Spain and I met a woman, and I got in a relationship with this woman, and we were together for about we were together 7 years altogether, but we were together for probably 2 or 3 years. And I started to realize, like, I was horrible to her through the drink.
Mm,
Every time I drank, I just mentally abused her. I just took it out on her. I was nasty to her. um, and she was a really lovely woman, and we had a nice
mm,
relationship, and things were good. I couldn't have asked for a better partner. I really couldn't. um, But I knew that she didn't deserve that, and I
mm,
didn't want to be that person, more importantly. for some reason I could see that, oh my God, this was ruining me and our relationship, and I didn't want that. So I'd seen my auntie Deb, who I know you know, she'd come out of a 20-year abusive kind of relationship, and she was different somehow. She'd always been like, we just knew that she did what she was told, and then suddenly she was out of this relationship and I saw her as happy, and I was like, what's going on? So myself and my partner at the time came down to Devon, where I live now, with my auntie. And we spent the weekend with her, and I couldn't even tell you, she was talking about Thor or something all weekend, and my partner and I were like, I don't know what that was about. I can't even remember the conversation. This is 9 years ago. And we left, and I was talking to my partner in the car on the way home saying, well, I don't know what she was on about with all that thinking, but I want to talk to her. And I arranged to talk to my auntie every single week because I wanted to sort out my drinking. I wanted to sort that out, and I said to my partner, I want to stop being horrible. And I began to change. I began talking to her every week. I was really scared because I thought I had to talk about my problems. I hated sharing and doing that kind of thing. But she said, you don't need to. I'm just going to tell you about this understanding about how life works, blah, blah, blah. And you just show up and listen. And I began to change. I don't even know how. To me, I think I heard something inside and it made sense to me. And I began to shift. And I didn't stop drinking. My drinking became different. I don't know how. I know I lessened off it, kind of thing. And when I did drink, I wasn't abusive anymore to my partner, because I know something shifted in me. So when I drank, I wasn't feeling angry anymore. So yeah, that's basically when and how I came across the principles all those years ago.
And what do you think now, also adding to it, looking back, what was it you heard, do you think, in simple terms?
I think I heard in some way that I am good enough, and I am perfect, and I am whole, and I am complete, and I was born that way, and I am confident, and I am lovable. Do you want me to go on?
Yeah. I mean, even that, that's huge, isn't it? That's a complete sort of 360, isn't it? From that really painful hating yourself and self-destruction to what I heard was that we're all whole and complete, and we are love, and I mean, you couldn't get more of a shift, could you?
Not really, no. And for me, it didn't happen overnight. It happened, I don't know, slowly. I just began to start seeing things in places that I thought were fixed, that I thought were true, that I thought were truths and real beliefs about certain things. But slowly it just, I don't know, it started piecing itself together, and I started feeling like, oh, they're all just beliefs about me that I don't need to take on as truth. Like life doesn't work this way, kind of thing.
So we have beliefs, don't we, based on how we've been brought up or the conditioning that we've had, and it's like, this is true about me, and this is true about the world, and this is true about other people. And yet coming across this understanding, we begin to hear and see actually that it's self-created through our thoughts, really, through our thinking. And once we begin to see through one thing, it's like, oh, that isn't true, I just made that up. Then we begin to see through the smaller and the bigger things, and
Definitely.
So did you feel like it gave you that sense of acceptance and safety that you'd never really felt before?
Yeah, I felt like this huge relief, and this massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And it felt like, as I said a minute ago, it just felt like maybe I am good enough. Maybe I am a nice person. Maybe I am. Well, I couldn't see that I was beautiful, as in the physical way. That that didn't happen until a few months ago, to be honest. But I couldn't see that at all, but yeah, I just, yeah, I wish there was a way. This is how I bottle it up and express it now in my artwork, but
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
no idea how to express the transformation and the difference in me. I
yeah.
think the massive thing that's changed for me is my self-confidence.
Mm.
I genuinely really believe in myself now, and I go out teaching other people how to be confident.
Now there's an irony, isn't there?
I
Yeah,
know, yeah, I know,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Because like you mentioned, you first came across this understanding with Deb,
Mm,
about 9 years ago.
yeah, I think it was.
Um, but actually, in the last two or more years that I've known you, your journey has very much continued, hasn't it? So this understanding is not about, well, I found this understanding and that's the solution and life's perfect. It's like life still happens to us, and yet we continue to grow, we continue to be on our journey. So I know certainly in the sort of last year, would you be happy to say a bit what you've created really, in what's happened for you in that time really?
Well, I guess if we go back 8 months, I basically quit the alcohol altogether
Yeah.
because my drinking became out of control again after said partner from earlier. We split up about 4 years ago or something, ages ago. That's all fine, it's all good and everything. But I think my drinking spiraled from that again.
Mm.
And then my sister and I moved down to Devon to work with my auntie and help share this understanding, to
Mm.
help other people transform and see that their life is, well, basically fucking amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
um, and but I still couldn't see through the drink story,
Mm.
Rach. That was my biggest thing. It just, the only way I can describe it is it looked like this massive, solid brick wall that I just couldn't get through, get over, get past, get round. There was no way. There was no way I could do life without drinking. Like
Mm.
drinking full stop, no drinking at all. But what happened to me was, I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I got curious one day. I was in a relationship with a woman, and to basically, I can't do anything other than be honest and tell you the truth here. I struggled in that relationship because I thought, we've been together a while now and I don't know how to have sex with her without drinking. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's too scary.
Yeah.
So that was really, truthfully and honestly, what was going on for me. It was really, really scary. And I thought, I can't live like this. I
Mm.
can't live in a relationship where I can't be me. So that made me, I think, look at my drinking. And all I did was get curious and start to explore and think, is there something I can see here with my relationship to alcohol? I thought, I've overcome so much and gone so far in my journey.
Mm.
This is one of those biggest things that I don't think that this can't be anything to do with thought,
This is separate, yes.
God,
This is
no, this is
different, yeah.
outside. This just isn't that. But by looking at it, that just started the ball rolling. Like, to my mind, when we get aware of something and we just recognize it, it kind of puts it out there in the universe, and it makes the universe, I don't know, kind of conspire to help us in some way.
Mm.
And the next thing I know, I'm doing this 30-day alcohol experiment, which I liked because it was called an experiment.
Yeah.
So I knew I couldn't fail. It was just, they marketed it in such a way that even if you drank every day, as long as you kept opening the emails and trying and stuff, you didn't
Mm.
fail.
Mm.
And I did it because I thought, well, I'm not going to give up drink altogether. Nope. I want to drink normally. I want to be able to just go out and have a glass of wine here and there and stuff. But that is not what happened. I basically had this massive insight. Again, I don't know how to explain insights. I have no clue, but I thought I saw I was good enough until I saw, oh my God, you are good enough without the drink as well. You can do life without the drink. And the impacts that has had on me in the last 8 months is, I don't know where to start. We need a whole nother
Exactly.
talk for this one.
We
But
do.
I haven't touched alcohol for 8 months since I
Wow.
started that experiment. I'm now 8 months sober. if I knew life was like this on the other side,
Yeah.
I would have done this 5 years ago. You know?
Because what's happened is you've done a lot more, haven't you, than stop drinking. Tell us about what's happened in those 8 months.
Well, I think what happened was I was blocked, and I didn't realize there was so much blocked and wanting to come out of me and wanting to be released. And for me, that is creativity. It's creativity that flows through us all. So basically, in the long and short of it, I've become an abstract artist, which came from nowhere. It came from an idea one day. Oh, I'd love to have a go at painting again. I used to do it years ago. And from there, I just couldn't get enough. It's been my absolute passion, and it lights me up from the inside. I just, the fun and the freedom in creating my art, oh my God, the feeling inside me is just so goddamn beautiful.
Yeah.
That I think that is what has wanting to come through me for 24 years and being blocked by the alcohol and being hidden from that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it totally makes sense. But the power of that creativity,
yeah,
you know, once it's been released, you know, and if you were saying, yeah, I've, you know, really tapped into this creative art, and you know, and I love it, you know, I have a couple of original Lucy Sheffields now, and that's not all, Lucy, is it, you've been doing? You've also published your first book, haven't you?
Yeah.
As well.
I know, I don't stop. I just love it. I can't stop it because I love it too much. Like, this has been, like I say, this has been stuck inside of me for so long that it's just kind of blasting out in any way it can.
It's just amazing. Really amazing, from the person and the way you saw life, you know, being so locked inside of you, really, you know, so much locked inside, and I'm not okay, and I don't fit in, and I'm not lovable. And then actually coming to a space of you know, the complete opposite, you know, seeing who we really are, what we're truly made of, and then that complete amazing, you know, creation that you've brought to the world in the last 8 months. It's just been, you know, it's been amazing just to watch you transform, really. It's just like, wow, you look different, you know, it's just like, it's just amazing. So I guess you'd encourage people to perhaps listen a bit around the principles and this understanding, really, or inside out understanding, is as it's known sometimes, isn't it?
Definitely. And it can be it's not an overnight thing, it's a journey. And it's an understanding that we don't always get at times, you know. We have human moments and we can't see it and we can't hear it and we can't understand it, but that's perfectly okay. If we're open to it as much as possible, then I think it filters through, and little changes really, really add up that we don't realize are happening in the background, you know. So many little changes that I'm like, oh, I used to do this and I used to do that, and that used to happen, and they fall away without us realizing, because we change and we grow through understanding how life works.
And it's sort of done for us, isn't it, in a way, you know, the same way that we're being breathed, you know, our heart is being pumped, you know, and things fall away, and you know, it's working for our good, isn't it, really? Which, like you say, is just bloody amazing, really. It's just like, you know, who knew, you know. So we have to wrap up a bit there, but it's been really lovely, Lucy, thank you. And just let people know where they can find you and get in contact with you if they want to.
The best way is to find me on Facebook, to be honest. Just my profile, Lucy Sheffield. I always answer messages. My art, you can find me on Wiggle Art Stract. You can spell that on Facebook. And my children's, Lucy Sheffield Children's Author on Facebook.
And that's published now, isn't it? It's just been released, hasn't it?
Book, yes, it is published now,
Brilliant. Thank you, Lucy. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.